Hey everyone! So, I want to do some faceting today. I recently discovered two patterns that I love and they look fantastic. And I also did a lot of toying around with trying to figure out a different pattern and I finally figured it out. I want to show you guys. They're super cool. So, let's look at rock. Life hack. If you're looking for faceting rough, sometimes it's better to just buy cabochons and facet those than try to hope that you get a faceting grade. Like, oh, here's a good example. Where are they? One sec. I can order a bunch of amethyst and hope that I get a faceting grade one, or I can just buy cabochons and know for a fact that they have no inclusions and are clear and are faceting grade. This may look nice, but you get a light behind it. It's actually filled with inclusions. This is not a faceting grade amethyst. The pocket in there is itty bitty. So yeah, anyway, little side tangent. This is called a pixel cut, and I love them. They're so cool, and my camera is so not doing it justice, but they're awesome, and I love them. And they're actually very simple. This is called a Cleopatra's eye cut, and I love it. I've been trying to find it for a long time, and I finally located it. And I love it. It's a lot of fun. And then lastly would be this cut right here, which just looks fantastic. I love it so much. Here are the stones that I was thinking about. I was thinking the smoky quartz would turn into a very pretty Cleopatra's eye, but potentially. The problem with these two, the pixel and the Portuguese round, is that they both require a light stone. If you do a dark stone with the pixel, you don't really get the pixel effect. And this cut just naturally darkens the stone. So if I did it with the smoky quartz, it would pretty much just be black. So I have a few ideas. Lab-grown ruby, and it's just wonderful stuff. It's chemically identical to ruby, but the color is just fantastic. I think that bright yellow color would look great with that Cleopatra's eye cut. This is actually what I'm looking at for the Portuguese round. And before I show you, I'm gonna say right now that I do not condone doing this if you're selling them without being upfront about it. I am not selling this, nor do I have any plans to. I just think it'll be pretty, and that's actually glass. That light, nice blue color, if we bring it down with the Portuguese round, we'll probably get a gorgeous blue tone in there, and it'll look so pretty. I was also thinking about doing a smaller cut, and the two that I'm up between would be this Oregon Sunstone, which would make a very nice pixel potentially. And this is one I'm really torn between cutting or not, and that is, you're gonna flash for me. Come on, glow, sir. Glow, sir. This is authentic, real Moldavite. I have a bigger piece somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. So that's how you know it's really safe. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing one of those too. So I guess just because it's on the DOP right now, let's start with this. Smoky quartz. And I think we're gonna go with the eye. It looks way darker than it actually is. Putting it on the DOP darkened its tone a lot. They're actually really nice light smokies. All right, so for this one, we're gonna be using a 64 index. And here, I don't know how clear this is gonna be. I'll do this, you can pause right here. And I'll scroll up a little more and you can pause right there. And there you go. Now you can follow along. I don't have a link, so that's the best I can do. Okay, so we have our girdle shaped in. One second. See, we kind of have a little bit of an eye shape going on. Even when the patterns don't tell me to, I always do the girdle first. Just so it helps me frame everything else. You don't have to, but it's how I do it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I am sorry. This is a tricky video for me to do, because usually during like this kind of video I'm telling you step by step what I'm doing, but I mean, it's kind of paint by numbers when you're following a template. It's just I don't know, do what the thing tells you to do. I don't know. I started off by going on and setting my first angle with 360, and I only do that lower grit plate for that first angle. Really, the lower grit you go, the more work you're making for yourself later, because you have to get all the scratches out down the line when you start polishing. And the more you have to get rid of scratches, the smaller your stone ends up. So I try to do low grit as little as possible. On normal stones, I would just jump to straight to 600, but this is smoky quartz, and it was a kind of big piece. So yeah, it needed a little extra oomph. But after doing just that first angle, I swap back to 600, and I will do literally the entire rest of the rough shaping with 600. So yeah, I just wanted to stop and say that really quick. Also, how are you doing? Having a good day? There you have it. Of course I have it covered in my grubby fingerprints now, but that is a Pharaoh's eye. Love that cut. It looks so good, and I think the smoky quartz was just tailor-made for this. That looks awesome. Alright, so next we're going to do this cut right here, which is a Portuguese round. We're going to do it with something else afterward, but I thought this would be a good one to demonstrate it on just because I can make it big. Step number first, we have to take off our dial, our 64 index, and swap to our 96 index. I know I'm repeating myself at this point. Normally I would not condone working with glass, but it's great for practice. Like if you're trying to sell it, then be upfront and don't lie about what it is. Shop phone. Also realized that I forgot to show the pattern for Portuguese round, so you can just go ahead, focus, pause the screen right here, and you can follow along. So we have our girdle shapes, and this cut may look complicated, but I'm gonna break some of the faceting magic. It's not, it's really not. So we've got big line, little line, and then littler line. There's numbered lines, and then there's non-numbered lines. If you want to break this down to make it super oversimplified, to get the girdle, all we did was do all of the non-numbered lines. That's it. And then we'll alternate to numbered lines because they're actually perfectly evenly spaced. So, yeah, it may look complicated. It's really not. Alright, first set is done. So, we've got our nice first set of facets done. So, now we're going to swap from no number to all of the numbers. To set our depth for this whole process, focus please, we're just doing this next line until the point touches the bottom, making those nice little triangles. And then when we do the next angle, we do that point until the point on the next angle touches the bottom triangles. And you just repeat that process for the whole thing. Very simple. There it is, up to 600. So now we can start polishing. And yeah, see, it looks complicated. It's so simple. It's really just every number, every line without a number. And then you alternate at different angles. And the result is a beautiful flower. Alrighty, well, there's our Portuguese round, covered in fingerprints, of course, but that is just stunning. So pretty. And again, I like doing them big first so that I can actually display all of the, you know, cuts and whatnot. But now that we have done a big one, we can go on and do something with a more fancy stone that isn't just glass. But first we have one more cut to do to demonstrate, and that is this right here. This is a pixel cut. Basically the way these are made is if you look at the bottom, all of the facets go in one direction, but then when you do the crown, you do all of your cuts in the opposite direction. So when light hits it, it creates like a grid inside the stone, and you get this cool pixely effect that the camera absolutely does not do justice. I wish my camera would pick that up a little better. So to do that one, I thought it would be fun to do something that's got a little bit of color. So we're gonna use this Oregon Sunstone. There it is, and it looks really good, but I made a mistake, and that mistake was this sidewall right here. I forgot that on my other ones I did not add an angle on that. I left it the same angle as the girdle, and this time I put an angle on it, and it actually kind of ruins the pixel effect from the top side. The bottom side's still super pixely. Another way I messed up was I accidentally, well, you know, not accidentally, I just wasn't using my brain. I didn't check the Sunstone before fastening it, and this one actually has schiller, which, you know, that's ideal when it comes to Sunstones. But the funny thing about this cut is the schiller kind of messes with the pixel effect. It doesn't really like pop as much as you would expect. So, you know, for future reference, just don't do that. I wrote down what I was doing and what I would do differently. So if you want to try this one for yourself, here's the pattern. Here you go. Here's all the steps. It's really, really simple. It's just I made one mistake that kind of ruined the whole thing. But it's all good. It's still a beautiful stone. It's just not as pixely as I want it to be. Because they can be hyper pixely, like other ones that I have cut that I stupidly just didn't do the exact same thing on. But hey, experimentation is part of the fun. Now that I have demonstrated all three cuts, why don't we start with the fun stuff? Let's do a Portuguese round Moldavite. Oh yeah. There's our Portuguese round cut Moldavite, and it is so pretty. It's so odd to me too, because I don't know, usually if I see inclusions I won't even facet it, or I'll cut it in a way where I cut out the inclusions, but it's kind of a counterintuitive thing with Moldavite, because you actually kind of want inclusions because it's so, fakes are so common on the market that bubbles and those little streaks, I forget what the mineral is called right now, but that's actually pretty much proof of authenticity. So it's actually a good thing when you have some bubbles and those streaky patterns inside, because that is proof that it's real Moldavite. But man, is that gorgeous. I love it so very much. Shut up, phone. One more to go, and I'm very excited about this. I trimmed it. There was a little crack on the edge on one side, so I trimmed it off, and we're going to use that for you know, another cut at a later date. But anyway, I'm super excited. I think this is going to be beautiful. Again, lab-grown ruby. It's going to be, oh, so pretty. So pretty. I think that yellow is going to look fantastic with a Pharaoh's eye. Alrighty, well, all 5 are finished. Let's look at them. I swear, there will come a day when I don't cover these things in fingerprints before my final shots. But it is not this day. Alrighty, well, there you have it. There's 5 facets, 2 fairly traditional, and 3 a little out there. Also gonna try to figure out a better way to film the faceting, because the problem is the camera pretty much would need to be where my head is, and that just won't work. So it's really hard to film the faceting. Also, it's like, there's like 90,000 steps. So it's a whole lot of cut a little check. So it's just, I don't know. It's not really like dynamic filming the way that like a carving or something like that is. But regardless, let me know what you thought of the stones. I think either the Moldavite or that last one is probably my favorite. The color on that thing is just insane. And I kept the cutoff, so I'll definitely be doing something with that at some point. But that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed those, and I love these cuts. These are probably my favorite cuts to do, and they're just so much fun. That being said, I have some very dark royal purple amethysts, and actually a pretty monstrous flawless garnet that I would also be excited to facet at some point. So if you guys want to see more faceting, let me know down in the comments. All right, everyone. I think that is going to do it for this one. That was a lot of fun. Way more time consuming than you would assume, especially when it gets boiled down into a short video. I don't remember the exact number. I think there's like 172 facets on these Pharaoh's Eye cuts, which means you have to do that once at, let's see, 600, then 1500, then 3000, then again with your diamond paste. Yeah. It takes a long time. Like and subscribe if you're into this kind of stuff. We do this variety of thing quite frequently. I'll have links to various stuff up in the description, including my new channel, which is just so much fun. I am excited to share more projects with you all. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Yeah.